So we back that out.
And I had asked about using $190,000 from the bond issue and changing the debt, or the bond issue rather, from the comprehensive plan implementation funds for that $190,000 to do the prison roof capital expense. And I'd also like to discuss freezing wages.
Well, I don't think we're at personnel yet. We said we weren't going to do personnel today.
But you were going to check with Bender on that roof, right?
Yeah, he's not there. He's not in. I checked with Betsy. Betsy didn't know the answer, and Ray will be back Monday, so I couldn't get an answer.
So you're going to have to wait on that.
Yeah. Well, that's on the question of the CDBG money. I think you're talking about comp plan implementation money, right? Okay.
Well, I'm not interested in changing anything with the comp plan.
No, I thought we made a commitment. We make a commitment, you live by it.
Right. So that's out of the question.
But the commitment really wasn't valid because it doesn't follow the rules.
It was valid because there were 2 and 1. That makes it valid.
No, that's correct. We can adjust the rules.
And
It's
the
our
solicitor
program.
said that.
It's our
You asked for an
program.
opinion and she gave you that opinion.
But the rules weren't adjusted.
But we never have them formalized. You won't go through the minutes and find the rules written down anywhere. It's just something we had planning come up with.
It's the rules everybody had to follow.
Well, we can change the rules. But what I'm telling you is they're not written down anywhere, other than what planning did.
Joel, and I asked you yesterday, first thing, well, give me some of the cuts. I'm a lame duck commissioner. Give me some of the cuts you want to make, and we'll move forward. You didn't have one thing you wanted to cut. Oh, I'm not ready. I didn't have a chance to study it.
I presented.
No, you
No,
came up with the only thing you came up with yesterday was the
That's it.
$500,000 that were given to the.
Firemen's Association.
That's the only thing you talked about. All the rest I gave or Stohler gave.
And they're equal in amounts. And I think that it was a discussion, and I presented something for discussion.
Well, you're doing it again. We told you no yesterday. We've already made the commitment.
I did not hear a no yesterday. I thought it was still on the table, and that's why I'm asking.
You're asking because this media's here. That's why you're asking. We all know that.
That's not true, Bill.
Well, it is true. I get sick of it. You don't say a word when the media is not here. As soon as the media comes here, you grandstand.
I don't think that's the case.
That's fair. That's more than fair saying that. Every one of the cuts that he had to go for, I gave him. You didn't give any of them.
So far,
Oh, well, that's what I'm waiting for. What do you have today?
first of all, I think we need to reallocate the money that is in the bond issue for the roof because it's a capital expense that would be allowed by a bond issue, and we need to change that.
And you're going to renege to the firemen.
It was not an appropriate allocation, Bill.
In
Well,
your opinion,
it's your
not the
opinion.
solicitor's opinion.
And not mine and
You
not
asked
his.
her for an opinion, she gave it, and you still don't want to go by it.
Only because the rules have not been
We
changed.
don't have any real
There are
rules.
written rules that everybody has been following, and those rules have not been changed. They still stand. And I also suggested that we do wage freezes.
No, we all talked about that. I have it written down here in one of my pages. It's not something you came up with, and you have the wrong number. It's 160,000.
Well, Phyllis alluded to it a little bit. There has been some discussion that there's been double entry of information into our 400 program when they're using a state program, and it's not being utilized, which would save time and money. So I guess what I'm suggesting is that it was great. I think it's wonderful. Bill and Larry deserve credit. We wanted to go and ask these 5 departments to reduce the
But you
budget.
came up with it.
But I think also we need to ask the other departments, for instance, the Prothonotari's office and planning, where the income is down and percentage-wise is not where it should be. I think we need to ask the rest of our department heads, how would you like to reduce your budget by X amount so it comes out that it's balanced? So those are some of the things I would like to see happen.
I talked about planning yesterday. Did you have a number for that in your mind?
Do I have it? Yeah, I have it in my tablet somewhere. I wasn't ready to go to personnel.
Okay. Well, that's right, too.
But I just think it would be better to be more collaborative and include them in making decisions for their department, in that they have to live with whatever happens. So if they really need a certain person and we sit here and tell them they don't, it might not benefit the county or the taxpayers. But by asking them, perhaps they will come up with an alternative suggestion that would work easier within their department.
So what Bill came up with yesterday is he gave them the discretion, which I thought was a good way to do it, to come up with the amount. He just had amounts in mind.
Exactly.
And we actually got more than we asked for, right? So there's no reason you can't continue to do that.
Exactly.
The problem is, if you go to personnel in some of those departments, they're a union contract. We tried this before. They filed a grievance and they won in arbitration to get their staff back. That was Dawn Rozanovich's department. So it's not as easy as it looks. And if you lay people off, you don't get the benefit of that until July, probably. About July?
Safe.
Depending on the extensions.
Because you have
Extensions with
to,
the unemployment.
more expenditures. I think.
Well, the county code allows for a new board after a municipal election to reopen the county budget in January following the municipal election for the purposes of cutting or adding revenue in the form of levy of taxes, even if they want to, but it is capped at 10%. They don't have carte blanche across the whole budget, but 10% of the whole.
I think we can feel safe in saying that we feel we can get through the year without a tax increase. Whether the new board feels they need some additional monies, they'll have to decide in the first month.
I would tend to agree with that.